Greetings, Dungeon Delvers and fellow DMs, and welcome back to the DM's Den. I try to be a descriptive person. I try to be accurate in the things that I describe for my players and for anyone around me, but I'm not perfect. I'm human. I forget words, I mess things up, but I'm always describing. And I err on description before I utilize visual aids. Now, especially when it comes to Dungeons & Dragons and 5th edition, we have many visual aids available. We've got monster manuals and Volo's Guide and Xanathar's Guide, and we have the Player's Handbook to call upon. We have Google Image Search to call upon many things in order to just bring up what might be in our mind's eye. However, so much of what we do as game masters is built upon imagination. We are constantly in control of the visual narrative because it comes from us. It comes from our descriptions, our contextual evidence, and our heads. So because of this, I always stress description before visual aid. That seems to help my players in a number of different ways. One, because it avoids a thing called contextual whiplash. Contextual whiplash occurs when there's sort of a schism in what the players are perceiving and then what actually appears before them. It represents a leap from the game master's perspective and the players. And the players have to suddenly catch up to where the game master has gone. This occurs, best example I can think of, when you, as a game master, decide, well, a zombie T-Rex appears. Here's the issue with that. The players have no preamble, no context clues, no descriptions, no ramping up to the reveal of a zombie T-Rex. They look to the right. Lo, look, a zombie T-Rex. Now, you as the game master, you've got your zombie T-Rex ready to go, but the players are still dealing with the fact that, oh look, a zombie T-Rex has appeared. That contextual whiplash creates a killing of the momentum. It is not session breaking, and there are worse ways to kill momentum. I will go into those in another video. But it is one of the examples of where momentum can get stunted. It can get a small hiccup, or a big hiccup, or it can trip and fall on its face. The way to avoid that is to use descriptive language. If, say, you want a Dracolich to appear, instead of the players looking to the right and they see a Dracolich before them, what if instead, I'll spitball this, as you guys exit the tavern, the sky grows dark suddenly. You hear crackles of lightning. Wait, you hear bursts of thunder. See, I'm not perfect. And lightning flashes above your heads. You feel two heavy impacts in the stone next to you, to the right, just further down the road. And as you look, you see a swirling cyclone of smoke and electricity. And piercing through the smoke, you see the lizard-like claws of something. Skeletal. And protruding out of the mists is a draconic snout, many rows of vicious teeth, hollow darkness in the eye sockets. And as it pierces through the fog, you see the exposed rib cage, and there, beating inside of it, a massive black heart. And as it opens its mouth to roar, impossibly large, you see the wings spread out, tattered and broken, and it looks out at all of you and I need everyone to roll initiative. It's still a Dracolich, but by doing a description and a step-by-step description, you are carrying the players along with you to the reveal of the creature. It lets them ramp up with your momentum to the reveal. And you're telling a story, so you get to use descriptive language to give them the picture. You paint for them the picture. And now, all together, regardless of what the player knowledge is and the character knowledge is, that's what they see. So they're all with you in this collective theater of the mind, which provides them with cultural literacy. Because undoubtedly you're going to have a mixture of players that are playing with you. You will have experienced players, you'll have novice players, and you'll have the people between. Experienced players, by your description, will probably know that's a Dracolich, or it's some sort of undead dragon creature. Novice players should be able to figure out from that description, at least it's something draconic, because you said draconic snout. And if they don't know what draconic means, they can ask the people around them, and they will go, what does draconic mean? Oh, it's dragon-like. Hey, they learned something. That's great. But even if they don't know that, even if they don't ask that, they can see in their mind's eye what that is. It's got wings. It's got an exposed ribcage. It's got a black beating heart. It's skeletal. It has empty, dark sockets where its eyes should be. That's probably enough. It provides them a picture. And the idea with cultural literacy is, usually when it comes to cultural literacy, we use it in educational terms, a person that has had certain experiences can pull from those experiences to help them with a current problem. If they've never had those experiences, they are ill-equipped to deal with that problem. So the people who have certain experiences that link directly to the problem will be at an advantage to those that don't have those experiences. By giving a description, you put everybody at the same starting point of their literacy. Even if they collectively know maybe a little more, they're still all together at the start, which puts them, at least for now, at an even playing field. And it provides a higher rate of success for your players to just visually putting them where they need to be. Now you may argue, if you want everybody on the same page, it looks like this. Just throw up the monster manual, it looks like this. This is what you see before you. However, my issue with that is this is your world. You are the master of this universe. Therefore, it should be your descriptions. Even if they match those that might be in a book somewhere, they're your descriptions. And it helps tie the players and the characters into your world. It brings them into you. And it becomes even more of a group experience if you are the one painting the picture and they're the one helping you paint that picture. It becomes a much more cohesive and dynamic experience if you're in charge of the descriptions. Also, heaven forbid your creature, your entity, is different than the one in the book. What if you want to make it slightly different? Then instead of having that dissonance of, well, it looks like this, except for this and this and this, what if you just describe it slightly differently? And by giving those descriptions and doing a play-by-play of those descriptions, you're also slowly revealing details. And you can reveal more details as combat progresses, or as the encounter progresses, which provides you with the third thing, which is contextual, descriptive problem solving. Let me use a different example for this. You're in a mine. You have a torchlight. The torch only extends a certain distance. And I can say, you hear a shuffling ahead of you. I stop. I listen and I watch. There, at the edge of the torchlight, you see, edging into the dim light, is a set of, appear to be iron boots, heavy, too large for the frame they're attached to. And as your eyes roll up the form, you see tattered brown pants and a shredded vest. And as your eyes continue to roll up, you see haggard patches of gray beard, and then gleaming, fanged teeth, and an impossibly wide grin, a set of manic eyes and bushy eyebrows, with a blood-soaked cap upon its head. It brandishes a sickle at you, dripping with fresh blood, and just smiles. I need everyone to roll initiative. We went and with the player, we move up their point of view. We see the feet, then we see the pants, and we give the full description of the creature. I'm describing a red cap. But instead of saying it's a red cap, I'm going to paint the picture for them. Now, the active listening player, which my players have a pretty good sense now that they should listen to the words coming out of my face, because I'm going to try and give them clues through narrative description. If I'm a caster and I'm listening, the first thing that was described, iron boots, heat metal. Now, based on that description, instead of saying a red cap approaches, I hit it with my sword until it dies, combat ends. Now we have a maniacal, grinning creature that probably wishes harm upon our players, upon our characters, and they have other contexts to delve into to help them solve the problem of this encounter. So we can take the detail of his boots that are iron, they're metal, heat metal. Maybe if that's successful, my red cap that has his boots that are now melting into his feet, he rips those off, and now he can move faster, but he can't kick as hard, because that's actually an attack a red cap has. They kick really hard, it hurts a whole lot, but they can move faster. Now they jump out of the boots and they scamper around the players and try to surround them. Meanwhile, the others clomp forward with their boots. So now you have a change in the dynamic of the encounter, but that was based upon a clue given from your description. If I want to say one of them appears a little bit bigger than the others, it has pulsing veins that run down its arms, and as you see it pop a cork on a potion, a swirling cloud-like liquid, cloudy liquid, as it downs it, you watch it guzzle down. It coughs as it continues to drink it, but it struggles through it, and as it finishes, you watch its muscles become swollen and bulbous. A set of black veins move across its entire form as it grows to a large size, and then picks up a spiked bat nearby, or picks up a log. As you see, there are various swords and javelins sticking out of it, like the nails out of a board, as it charges after you. It's still a red cap, but it's a giant one, and now you have a different element in the encounter. It's not just red caps appear, because this isn't a video game. This is a group experience, and it's a narrative with a group. It's a group narrative. I can't stress this enough, that descriptions are powerful. They provide opportunities for your players to shine. They also provide you universal control in the entities that exist in your world, and they provide descriptive and narrative momentum for your players to experience jointly the theater of this entire experience. If it seems like I'm passionate about this, I am, because there is such a difference between having a storyteller run a session and having someone show you pictures from a book. Neither is good or bad, but I do know that a narrative description will provide more and more opportunities for your players to be imaginative, creative, awesome, powerful individuals than a picture would. The final benefit is that you as a dungeon master, you as a game master, you as a person, now get to experience how to describe things, how to act, how to provide tone and pacing and pausing at just the right moments. This is why I encourage game masters to roleplay. Don't just speak as yourself as an NPC. Try your best to try out new voices. Speak in a different way, whatever that way is. Try to get yourself to act physically as the monster. Describe combat. Describe hits. Describe misses. Describe how the creature behaves on its turn. It doesn't just walk forward and slash you. It comes forward, snarls at you as its tail spins around and attempts to spear you with the spikes that you now see on it protruding out. It comes out and tries to spear you, and then you roll an attack. That is so much more dynamic than it hits you with its tail. There's so much more involved, yes. And believe me, in my first couple years of DMing, each session could be very tiring, but it's so exhilarating. Even if you're exhausted at the end, it's so much more rewarding because the players were right there with you. Keep the momentum going. Keep the players in your theater of the mind by providing better descriptive evidence, better context, and more clues for them to act upon by using descriptive language. You won't be perfect every time. You will forget words, as I often do. It happens. But by forcing you to do this, you may just naturally read more because you want to extend your vocabulary. You want to be better about your descriptions. You want to be more precise. The first time you really start doing this, you might confuse your players a little. That's okay. You should probably put it out there that I want to be more descriptive. I want to be better about my descriptions. So I'm going to start using more and more descriptive techniques, not just showing you guys pictures. They'll appreciate that. And that way, if you mess up, if you make a mistake, you can easily say, I'm sorry, I used the wrong word. This is what I meant to say. And you'll get better. What a concept. You'll get better. And actually, when it comes to gaming as a group, isn't that kind of the point? You're going to improve. You're going to constantly become a better and better game master the more you do it. So why not do it right the first time and describe things? Practice describing things. If you're like me, maybe you read a dictionary. I don't know. But I read. I read as much as I possibly can. And then I practice speaking like this into a camera so that I can be as accurate as possible with as much passion and pacing and poise as I can. I won't be perfect every time. No way. No one is. The point, though, is to try and improve. Describe things. Use your language. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. That's all I got for now. May your swords be sharp, your magic be potent, and your extensive vocabulary ever expanding. I'll see you next time. Bye now. Hey there everybody, thanks very much for tuning in to today's episode of The DM's Den. If you would like to see more videos like this, you can click on my big dumb face. If you want to find me on the Book of Faces, I'm over there. If you're on the Book of Tweets, I'm over there too. But if you want to see videos faster and have a higher level of input on what the topics for each video are, please consider going over to my Patreon page. It is the best way to support the channel and the best way for you to feel that you have a stronger voice in the type of content that we put out. Anywho, have a wonderful day, and please, game responsibly.